You are allowed to cheat in the UFC. Everybody knows it, including the fighters. You can get away with a little bit of cheating. Don't believe me? Listen to what a UFC fighter had to say in an interview when asked about fouls and cheating in the UFC.
I cheat in the fight, shit. Yeah, I cheat, shit. Any means necessary. If I want to start poking the eyes and all that, I'm gonna poke you in the eye. Because you're gonna get a warning. They're not gonna take a point soon you poke somebody in the eye. Shit, everybody know that.
In today's video, I'm going to cover the 3 most common fouls in the UFC and what we have to do to put an end to them. Eye pokes, fence grabs, low blows, and there's one reoccurring issue when it comes to how these fouls are being handled: the ref. The UFC is a billion-dollar company. You have to have refs who know what they're doing and know how to handle these situations. Let's not waste any more time. We'll start with eye pokes. What's the issue? How do we fix it? And what can we not do? The issue with eye pokes right now is we never claim somebody did it on purpose, which most of the time that's the correct way to go about it. But what this does is it gives every single fighter in the UFC one free eye poke. It's very rare we see someone lose a point on the first eye poke because it's never assumed they may have done it on purpose. Now, it does seem as of late the referees have been trying to judge whether or not to take a point based on the severity of the eye poke. While that's better than just never taking a point for the first eye poke, it opens the door for us fans and the people watching to question the integrity of the fighter. We just saw this in the Tom Aspinall versus Gane fight. People have been questioning how tough Tom Aspinall is and whether or not Tom Aspinall wanted to be in that fight because he wasn't able to continue after the eye poke. The only person who really knows how bad the eye poke is the fighter. Now, the issue with judging it based on the severity of the eye poke is if fighters know how they react to the eye poke directly correlates with how their opponent is punished, they could try and be more dramatic and sell how bad the eye poke is, just so their opponent loses a point and then they're fighting with an advantage. How do we fix this? What is the best way to handle eye pokes in the UFC? The fact of the matter is, eye pokes will always exist. It's impossible to 100% end it without having gloves that completely cover the fingers. It starts with competent referees. UFC referees have to be held to a higher standard if any of this is going to be fixed. Right now, every single ref in the UFC handles these fouls in a different way. There needs to be a cut and dry answer to how they should handle every single foul. We have to have refs we can trust and rely on to make fair and correct decisions. Right now, we don't. So how do I think the UFC should approach eye pokes? They have to be more diligent about eye pokes from the start of the fight. Almost every single time an eye poke happens, it's from an open hand, extended fingers towards the opponent. Eye jab, eye jab, eye jab. The ref needs to call it out the second they see extended fingers towards their opponent. Stop waiting until the eye poke happens to say something. If you notice it, call it out right away. And if there ends up being an eye poke after you called it out, it's a point. Take a point. No hesitation. I don't care if they barely touched them. They got a warning. They didn't address it. Regardless of how bad the eye poke is, it's cheating. Eye poking is cheating. Take a point. And I think if a fighter gets a point taken during the fight, tell me if I'm crazy for this, they should lose 5% of their purse right there. Boom. Just like the NBA and the NFL will fine a player for doing something, fine the fighters. 5% of their purse gone if you get a point taken. There has to be repercussions. Gane eye poked Tom Aspinall and has no reason to not just do it again. Aspinall was somehow the bad guy in that situation. Everybody was mad at Tom Aspinall for not continuing, and Gane just got away with it. I know asking UFC referees to do a better job is a lot. The UFC is a billion-dollar company. There's no excuses. If you think there's another way this should be handled, or if you agree or disagree with me, comment down below. I read all the comments. I want to know what you think. Now, another major issue, a foul that occurs all the time, to the point where you should just do it once or twice every single fight because you're not going to be punished and it helps you. Fence grabs. Take a minute and think, how many times during a card do we see fighters grab the fence? It's every single card, and we almost never see a point taken. It's the same cycle. Tell them not to do it. Then stop the fight and give them a warning. And then if they do it again, take a point or put them on the ground where they would have ended up. You are allowed to cheat in the UFC. This is where you can cheat as much as you want. Again, if we want to solve this issue, it comes down to 2 things. 1, competent refs. The refs have to use their brain while the fight is going on. It's asking a lot, I know. Dan Mergliato, just think! The UFC is a billion-dollar company. You have to expect more from your refs. They have to be the best refs in the world, just like the fighters are the best fighters in the world. If a ref sees somebody grab the fence, immediately stop the fight, take a point. That's a point. Boom. Just like, that's a point. Look at that technique. That's all it takes. 5% of their purse gone. $5,000 gone. There has to be punishment for fighters who are willing to cheat. Every single fighter knows you are not allowed to grab the cage. There should be no warning for this. Take a point and put them where they would have ended up if they didn't grab the cage. The referees meet with the fighters before the fight to go over the rules. What is the point of doing that if they get a warning as soon as they cheat? What's the point? Last but not least, low blows. Now this one's in a category of its own because out of the three I've mentioned so far, this is the one that can really be an accident. Obviously an eye poke can be an accident, but that's rare in my opinion. Like if the thumb catches it, something weird, just close your fist. Seriously, anybody who trains MMA, please tell me why this would ever be okay to do. I understand you parry jabs with an open hand. That's not my point. There are fighters that do this all fight. That is a cheating technique as far as I'm concerned. Back to low blows. How to handle a low blow foul in the UFC is clear as day. If it happens once, look at the replay, confirm it wasn't obviously done on purpose. Give the fighter 5 minutes to recover, stern warning, move on. If it happens again, take a point. No questions asked. I don't care if it was an accident. These are the best fighters in the world. They have to know how to control their weapons. There should never be a world where a fighter gets hit with a low blow twice in the same fight and the opponent does not lose a point. That just happened in the Mike Malott versus Kevin Holland fight. It was a clear example. Kevin Holland got hit with 2 low blows in the same round, and Mike Malott got nothing but a warning. Then he got to fight a compromised version of Kevin Holland. Also, if the fighter after an eye poke or a low blow cannot continue, they get the full 5 minutes to try and get back to where they need to be. In the fight, no contest. You can't force these guys to keep fighting because you don't think the foul is that bad. It can be frustrating. It can be annoying. The opponent cheated. They should not be rewarded by now fighting someone who is compromised. In that Kevin Holland fight, after the second low blow, he got 5 minutes and it was clear and obvious he was still feeling it. Holland never said he can't continue, but at the same time, he didn't say he was good to go. These guys are fighters. 99% of the time, they're going to do whatever it takes to continue fighting, even if they shouldn't. That's all they know. This is where we have to have competent refs using their brain. Dan Mergliotta, use your brain. The ref has to be able to see that. Recognize the fighter is not good to go. They're in a fight. They're not even thinking clearly. Obviously, they're going to say they're good to go if they're not. After 5 minutes, if he can't go, call the fight, no contest. Kevin Holland, I can't say that he was going to beat Mike Malott, but he would have had a much better chance if he did not get hit with the low blow. It completely altered the fight. And Mike Malott was the one who benefited from it. Cheating helps the cheater. You are allowed to cheat in the UFC. Fix it. I've seen a lot of people out there saying that they should DQ fighters who keep cheating over and over. This is the issue with disqualifying guys. I don't disagree that at times there should be a fighter just DQ'd because they keep cheating, but that takes away from the product. At the end of the day, the UFC is a business. It's a show. Whether you like it or not, it's entertainment for the people. Disqualifying fighters takes away the product and upsets the fans. The goal of the UFC should be to keep the fans happy. That's what Dana White does. There's nothing more frustrating than watching a fighter I picked to win get eye poked and then try to continue fighting with one eye. And then I lose, he loses, we all lose. The only way to really fix cheating in MMA is to severely punish the fighters who are cheating. Most of the time, it's the same guys. There are guys in the UFC who are known for low blows. They're known for grabbing the cage. They're known for eye jabs. Cyril Gane does it every single fight. Punish them. And if the refs aren't doing their job and punishing these fighters, fire them. I've seen the same 5 UFC refs at every single card the past 5 years. They're just allowed to be bad at their job and continue doing it. Dan Mergliotta, how many chances do you get to be bad at your job? The standards and the culture around cheating in the UFC have to change. Right now, you're allowed to do it a little bit, just not a lot. That can't be the case. In cheating, change the culture. You cheat, you lose money, you lose the fight. Very simple. If you enjoyed this video, man, like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below some more video ideas I should take on, I can do. Should I do a UFC refs tier list? Because I'm itching to just scream at UFC refs. They got me frustrated. Comment down below some video ideas. I'm going to do them. I read all the comments. Let me know what you think should be done to combat cheating. Like, comment, subscribe. Full card predictions video probably coming this week. Definitely coming for the next pay-per-view. 3 best bets also coming this week. Let's go.